Welcome to the Shadow Dance Inner Child Exploration. Now, this work is very, very important and offers huge benefits to us. As we recover lost aspects of our childhood, we also recover joy, enthusiasm, imagination, creativity, and play. Now, these energies have got buried inside the unconscious because of situations where we were afraid or froze or ran away or didn't have the resources to be with strong emotion. As a child, we weren't necessarily very resourced in our emotional intelligence, in our self-expression, in our communication skills. And because of this, we end up presenting a defense mechanism to protect ourselves, which is okay as an initial response to defend yourself by going quiet or running away or hiding or freezing, disappearing in some form, internally or externally. But if we continue with this, it becomes a habit. And this habit of freezing or running away or avoiding then becomes a way of being, an identity. So our way of approaching difficult situations often has big impact on us further down the line if we carry on running the same defense mechanism, even when there's no threat in the immediate vicinity. So what a lot of us are doing now is undoing parts of our childhood that have been tangled up, that have got frozen, gone numb, got buried into the unconscious. So the first important step to take is a willingness to look under the lid of your own personal unconscious and a willingness to embrace lost aspects of self. Now, you may be motivated towards this because in your present day situation, you realize you are under-functioning. You're not allowing the fullness of your potential in relationships, in the workplace, in the bank balance, because your child is not allowed to fully express his or herself. So the first thing is the willingness. Second thing is to be resourced as what we call the parent or the reparenting process. Now, to be your ideal parent is to be full of listening, compassion, protection, trust, loyalty. And so we find this character inside of us, this dimension of us that is those things now. And the resourcing process is finding your center. So this is part of the training here, is to find your center as a resourced adult presence before you do any inner child shadow work, receiving these lost fragments of self. So you feel strong and vital and able to hold and contain and to heal and to transform these inner child wounded aspects. So the exercise is to look at places where you are lit up with your passion, where you feel in your confidence, you feel in your flow, and you feel the enthusiasm and energy for life. So just close your eyes for a moment, take a nice big breath, relaxing, and just opening yourself up to start to notice those places in your present adult life where you feel joy, strength, courage, and confidence. Could be on the sports field, could be when you're making stuff or painting or communicating or interacting with others, could be when you're manifesting your mission in your work, riding a horse, flying a kite, flying an aeroplane, could be in all of these places and more. Finding a place where you feel strong in your body, in your being, in your center. So breathe into this, breathe in, strengthen this feeling. I am confidence, I am present, I am here and now. And feel your adult capacity to be able to hold space. And as you start to feel into this, I invite you to hold your fingers, thumb and finger together. This is a little imprinting technique. So you press the thumb and finger together, and as you do this, it anchors the feeling state in your body. So the next time you do this, it brings you straight back into that state. So it's like a little memory code that you're imprinting. Take a nice big breath, make it stronger and stronger. Your confidence, your presence, your power, your love, your compassion. I'm going to invite you to breathe in and open up your imagination now and see or feel or sense that you are sitting on a throne as a king or as a queen. So just getting comfortable, feeling your sovereignty, this energy of deep connection to the life source. You feel yourself full of the life, full of energy. Breathe into this, again putting the thumb and the first finger together to amplify this experience. So we've now connected to a dimension of us as our adult self, which is confident, powerful, present, loving, and compassionate. And we've now introduced an image of you as a king or queen sitting on a throne in a receiving position, but you're opening with all this energy, receiving position. So the practice is going to go like this. I'll just describe it first, and then you can actually do this on your own after the video. So you see yourself sitting in this confident, powerful, loving, compassionate place on the throne of your existence, welcoming, generous heart. And for your posture is open. Hands are open, eyes are open, energy is open. And at the other end of the palace, big door opens and your child is invited to come in. One aspect of your child that you may have lost or forgotten or ignored or denied, invited to come in and walk on the red carpet to come toward you. And right beside you is another seat where your inner child aspect sits before you and is felt very welcome. You welcome this child aspect to come and sit beside you. And you are all the time in silent presence, sending energy to this dimension of you, thanking this child energy for showing up, for coming to visit you, and you visit them with your energy and your presence. That's the first stage. Welcome them into the palace, into the king or queen's room, sit on the throne in the chair beside you. Second thing, you have a special stick. In Native American tradition, they call it a talking stick. And you pass it to your inner child. And you say, when you're holding this stick, you have my full attention. You can share anything that you want to share. So you pass the stick and you listen to what your child aspect wants to communicate to you. Without editing, without judging, without reacting, just stay present, breathing and receiving whatever is being shared. Let this aspect of your inner child speak. So just for a moment, just imagine that is happening. Inner child is communicating, expressing, releasing, going through a process of healing, allowing this unfolding of energy to come from them. And this sharing, you allow it for as long as it wants to go. And at the end of this, you simply say, thank you. And then you ask, is there anything that you need from me? Asking. And again, listen. I need your attention. I need your love. I need your presence. There could be some upset from the past. I needed you when I was 5 or 6 or 7. It's like, I'm here now. I'm here to receive you now. I'm sorry I wasn't available then. Yeah. And listen and offer compassion and kindness and presence and nourishment to this dimension of you. And let your inner child speak its need. That's really what is there underneath all the behavior that may have been added to this. Could have been kind of anger or frustration or sabotaging or apathy and all these things, behavior that gets added to the inner child. It's called the acting out child. And it gets in the way of directly communicating with the real need, the authentic need underneath this. So you listen to the need and you ask, can I give this to you now? Give this to you. And feel yourself in loving presence, generosity, sharing what is asked of to this inner child. And the last stage is you reach out with your hands. So would you like to hold hands? Would you like connection? Both hands. You look into the eyes, you breathe together, and you start to feel this circle of connection between the two of you, and this circle is moving through your system, becoming one circle, recognizing that this aspect in front of you is not separate from you, it's part of you. You can start to feel it getting closer and closer and closer, and you bring your hands to your heart and feel that you're including this aspect of yourself, having been heard and listened to, seen, felt, and loved. You're now breathing them into you and letting them settle in your heart. The heart integrates, the heart heals, the heart rebalances. So this is one exercise I invite you to do to support the process of inner child recovery. You first connect to this parent dimension of you and feel great, feel confident, feel loving, and you anchor this in the body. You then see yourself as a king or queen on the throne. You then see the child walking towards you up the red carpet, sit on a chair beside you, pass them the talking stick, and you listen, listen, listen. Then you ask, is there anything more that you need? Let them communicate. And then you make a loving contact and breathe in this integration. And then you feel the energy come back to your body and you relax with this. If you do this in little bits, maybe 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, maybe one aspect of your child comes up through this red carpet towards you, and another day another aspect comes to you. Gradually, you open more love and compassion to include and listen to these lost aspects of yourself that are no longer lost. They are invited and welcomed. Okay, so I want to offer you one more practice, which I find very valuable for this work. So you get a pen, maybe you have a journal for this shadow work challenge. I invite you to get one. Nice big piece of paper, good quality pen. And with your right hand, it represents your adult self. And the left hand represents the inner child or children. Okay? Doesn't matter whether you're right or left-handed, just invite you to do it this way, because the right hand is connected to the left brain, often the masculine qualities. Left hand is connected to the right brain, often the feminine qualities. And we want to touch the feminine intuition, instinct, and emotion in our communication. It's very important. So we're not going through a rational process of analyzing our childhood or asking too many questions about childhood. It's a direct, somatic, kinesthetic feeling from the body, from the emotion, about how the child actually feels. So the way we do this writing process is the right hand asks the question, like, welcome to this space. Can I ask, which dimension of the child are you? Left hand, same pen, writes, I am your 5-year-old self. Yeah. Question, right hand, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling sad, left out, but excited to see you. Right hand. Could you share more about your experience and why you have appeared today? I feel lost, I feel left, I feel abandoned, I feel sad, I feel lonely. Just let the child write. Yeah. And you'll be surprised what comes out. The left hand, it doesn't matter how the writing looks, it's more the feeling of the writing. And you will communicate something through the left hand. And it often comes through as a direct emotional response. These aspects of ourselves are in shadow because we've not paid attention with the light of our awareness to see them. As we do this writing process, we bring to light, the light of awareness, what was in shadow. We hear it in consciousness. And this hearing process is the journey towards including and recovering and reclaiming. So this is another very, very good exercise to get in touch with these, what can be called sub-personalities or inner child fragments, and let them communicate directly. You might want to ask more questions, more detail with the right hand. So just an adult question, left hand response. Or it might just be that your left hand just goes for it and just writes and writes and writes. At the end of the process, you put the pen down and just, again, take a moment of meditation, right and left hand, bring them together. What's often known as prayer posture or the namaste. It's a blessing posture. Bring it to the heart and breathe in and just feeling this integration. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for communicating. Thank you for being present and feeling this unity through the hands connected to the heart. Breathing in. And again, finishing with this connection on the heart here. So you come to a space of blessing and harmony and inclusion and closeness. So it was unknown in the distance, in the shadow, is now known, is expressed, it's felt, it's included, and it's brought into the body, it's somatized. This is an amazing way to get to know the different dimensions of yourself that you may not have given so much attention to over the years. Situations may have happened when you were small, which were just too much to bear. And we didn't have the resources then to deal with it, to address it. So we built a defense mechanism. We've been living behind that protective wall. And that protective wall has been having an impact on our present adult life. If there's a shield between me, you, and the other, then this shield interrupts the connection. There's an imbalance in the flow. So when we lay down the sword and the shield and the defense mechanism and start to communicate honestly and directly from the need, from the truth of these inner child aspects, healing happens. And healing is about returning to a state of wholeness, including what was missing back into self and self-awareness. Another image I often work with is this flowing river and these frozen patches on the river. These represent the moments in our life when we got scared, afraid, something traumatic happened, and we froze. This work of loving compassion, integration, inclusion, and connection warms the river, melts the ice. And what was frozen becomes fluid, starts to flow again. And we can start to get more feeling back through our body. And we start to get more play back in our life, more creativity, more enthusiasm, more imagination, more of the childhood aspects wake up inside of us again. Because we melted the ice, we melted the fear and brought back the warmth of love to ourselves. And the more we do this, the more our river flows, the more abundant we feel, the more connected we are. So these are two practices that have the same beneficial response. I invite you to practice them, the visualization with the king, receiving the child, and the writing exercises, and send me some messages on this Facebook group or personally to my email, shadowdanceguy@gmail.com, to let me know how this experience is going for you, how it lands with you. Small moments of connection have a huge impact and gradually start to modify and change the way we see ourselves, the way we see others, the way we behave in the world. Because we're gradually gathering more connection, which brings us more freedom, more self-expression, more self-esteem, more confidence. And that's my wish for you and for all of us. Thank you very much for listening. Happy practicing, welcoming these lost aspects of your inner child back into the wholeness and fullness and the beauty of your heart.